I'm not much of a cook, but the one thing I know how to make is an egg. And the first thing that you get, which is, or not the first thing that you get, but the first thing that you must do is get yourself a pan, which is outstanding. So you open the eggs and you put them in a wide enough bowl. You need milk, cheese to taste if you like, butter, onions, mirchi, tomatoes. Then you get yourself some salami, and we make a very, very decadent egg. You beat the egg a little bit. Try and aerate it as much as possible, because the more air that goes into the egg, the more fluffy it's going to be. I don't add any salt to my egg. I actually put a little bit of the chicken cube. You can also use the vegetable cube depending if you are a vegetarian or an eggitarian. Generally for about 2 eggs, you put in half of this cube. Then you add a dash of milk. This helps aerate the eggs even further. Can you see the bubbles forming? That's what needs to happen in the egg. Do you see these bubbles? This is when the egg is getting aerated. So I make my eggs in butter. Just a little bit of it. Just rotate it in the pan on the sides so that the butter coats the entire surface. This helps and make sure to make sure that it is not going to stick. Right now I've got a high flame on because I want the butter to melt. But otherwise the egg is cooked on an extremely low flame. Add onions. I also put the chilies in at the same time so that they can roast a bit. I put a little bit of mirchi powder because I think all of us require it to be a little bit chatpata. And now it's time for some tomatoes. You can add a bit of salami if you want a little meat. All the while I'm cooking, still on a very low flame. So I'm gonna go back to beating my eggs here, but I'm gonna add a little bit of cheese now. But you add that into the egg. Otherwise, if you add it into the pan, it'll stick to the bottom. And then you just go ahead and add the egg. Now this is something that you have to do immediately so that you get a fluffy egg. Whatever is cooking on the pan, you start centering it so that the center portion becomes nice and dense. And this, my dear, is the trick of them all. You take a basic pan cover and cover it. And now let it settle and cook in its own steam. As you can see, the steam is forming. Okay, just for your sake, I'm going to open it to show you. Do you see that? See how it's detaching from the sides? Now it's not going to cover. It won't stick. Cover it back again and allow it to cook. This is the time you add a little bit of pepper. In a few seconds for my father, I'm actually going to flip it over. And please understand, even me, the eggs break. As in the whole thing will come apart, and then you have to be smart about it because then you flip it on the other side. Getting ready to flip it. What you do and how long you keep it, this is definitely dependent on you. Because as I said, if you want the egg to be more runny, you take it off faster. If you want it to be set, you keep it in for as long as you want. You can keep testing and checking. You can see that the whole egg has fluffed up. You see that the whole egg is moving. Now, this is what I was saying. This is what happens. Okay? But you don't want to show anyone this side because you're a smart cook. You take a plate, move it around a little bit, and then flip it over. And that, my dear, is a fluffy omelette. It's healthy. You can do it with egg whites. You can do it on your own. But a fluffy egg is outstanding to eat. You should try and see if you want to have it with toast or not, because it is so airy. You can actually eat it and it melts in your mouth. Try it at home. I'm gonna go give it to my dad now.
Wow, my goodness. Ultimate beneficiary is me. I'm happy.